on mute.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're on the world. Tonight's another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards, where two members of the vampire faction are going into a goth nightclub because let's go investigate something that makes fun of your entire culture. And we'll go ahead and have Evan start off with a description with the club and his character, then we'll go to Kim and Tim and take it from there.
Sorry, I just wanted to change over to the bartender's picture because we've university decided this is the bartender. Carpe Noctem.
Isn't that the lead singer from Epica?
Possibly. I actually don't know. It very well might be. Basically, Carpe Noctem is rather busy this evening. You figure that it's kids, you know, flush from Christmas, coming out the first drinks of the new year. So the club is even more packed than it normally is. It is done, as I've said many times, the kind of objet d'art of the kind of what people would consider to be old age Gothic. So a lot of high-backed chairs, a lot of black tables, things that are inscribed in pseudo Latin, etc. And overhead there's a black chandelier that glints down its purplish light onto the dance floor as people dance the night away. Currently, one moment. Evanescence is playing. Oh, okay. Bring Me to Life is currently being pumped through the wonderful sound system as people enter. So feel free to do so.
It's at that point. Raven and Satoshi are gonna stroll on in. Raven did her best to look fine AF for this. Raven does not have presence, however, you don't need presence to turn that swag on. As she walks in, she looks over at Satoshi and says, "You know, I preferred going under myself."
He'll look at her and just raise an eyebrow and question.
It's another song by this band.
Oh, I see. I wouldn't know, personally.
Makes sense. What did you like to listen to? Or do you like to listen to?
He'll shrug and kind of tug at his gloves a little bit more, making sure they're on. Yeah. I listen to a variety of things. Most of it is more popular music from my home.
Raven nods. Understandable. Raven looks over ahead to the bartender. She will have spent a blood to kind of get her blush of health going for the scene.
The bartender kind of casually is cleaning a glass before she flicks it down onto the table, pours vodka in it, and slides it along the bar to one of the patrons. "And what can I get for you, love?"
Let's go basic. Let's just go with some vodka tonight.
Whatever you say. Would you like, how to phrase, what shelf would you like that vodka to come from?
Let's go top shelf tonight.
As you say. She'll turn away to the bar and you'll see her hand flick up to the top shelf. She'll bring down something that has a long kind of exaggerated Russian text on it and pour a shot glass and place it on the table in front of you.
She'll go ahead and pay for it now. Include a nice sizable tip with it.
I see that you're a friend of, damn, She snaps her fingers. You're on the boss's list. Give me just a moment. And you see her reach into her pocket, retrieve a phone. Roll app. Okay. You're with Mr. Satoshi, yes?
That I am. She'll kind of get a very curious look.
He'll just shrug once again. I've been here once before.
My employer, I'm sure, would delectate upon your company if you would care to join him in the VIP lounge.
Sure.
Light it up, then very well.
She will kind of do a half bow and she will indicate the correct set of stairs that lead upstairs into the VIP area. I love Minicam.
He'll head on up there then.
Okay. I was just going to say, Tim, as you enter the VIP lounge, it is a very it's almost like a Victorianized balcony that overlooks the dance floor. So it's got gelding and various different moldings and whatever else have you, with about five or six tables seated up there. There's its own small personal bar, etc. And would you like to make me a perception occult roll or perception awareness roll as you enter?
Go ahead and give that a whirl.
Both you and Satoshi.
Hey, there's at least one.
Okay. Dem ones, though. Dem ones.
I know, right?
With one success, it is rather noticeably colder in this general area, as in you walked into the room and it's dropped about 5 degrees.
Ooh, okay.
Gravedigger himself is seated at a table overlooking the dance floor, with basically a large with a large book seated in front of him, and he's currently tapping on a tablet device, which he will set down to one side as people enter.
Hironori will walk over and kind of extend a hand out for a handshake. And so
Gravedigger will extend his ring hand and shake your hand.
and he'll just say, it is good to see you again.
Oh, I'm so grateful you think so. I wasn't sure if I'd made a positive first impression upon our first meeting.
I will admit it caught me off guard how much you knew of me, but I suppose that is how things work here.
Every secret, every syllable, everything like that has a price. Oh, please sit down, and who is your lovely friend?
This is Miss, and OOC Kim can't remember your character's... Oh, Raven. This is Miss Raven.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Gravedigger.
Such a colorful name. I'd like to hear the story behind it sometime.
Absolutely. Though not this evening, I trust. Have you already had refreshment, or is there anything I can offer?
I think we're good for right now, thank you, though. She'll smile. And out of character, Gravedigger has spirit side up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, vampires.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are a couple of Banes behind them doing tap dances.
Hey, I got Humanity 6. I ain't that bad.
That's why I said a couple.
I was going to say none of you can perceive what's standing beside Gravedigger, so it's all good.
Yeah, nah.
But Gravedigger he places his tablet on the table and he says, "If I may ask, what has inspired two such lovely individuals to visit me this evening?"
I just wanted to enjoy the nightlife personally. Haven't had a chance to since I've gotten here.
By the way, as Gravedigger himself possesses one, isn't Raven British?
Yes, she is British.
They will both have markedly British accents in that case. Unless she's actively
Oh
British.
boy. Raven, for her part, has a Londoner accent.
Gravedigger's is kind of non-sequential. It's kind of like up, down, all over the place.
Okay.
It's just kind of that stereotyped kind of. It's sort of leaning towards Cockney, but not ridiculously.
All right.
So, where in the homeland do you come from then?
London. Yourself?
Well, I was born here in Hong Kong, but needless to say, I was educated back in the homeland. So, just outside Cambridge, as a matter of fact.
Hmm. Well, I hope your education was fruitful.
Oh, I learned a thing or two. Apparently, Tim, you're being asked if you want to make a roll. If you want to find out, if we're going by the mage rules for spies, it's intellect plus spies.
Okay. I'll go with that. Let's see how many. Actually, no. Just heard a little bit about this guy.
Yeah, but remember the spies you're asking.
Yeah, they're birds. So probably heard a dude got cooked alive here at some point. Shit gets real here. We leave. We don't like to go there.
This is a bad place. This is a bad place. It's got no color, and they have these invisible force fields all over the place. But somebody got cooked alive, and that wasn't cool, so we left. It smelled like barbecue.
I love these birds.
And the worst thing is, we couldn't even get to the barbecue. There were windows and shit. Why couldn't we have barbecue?
No, oh yeah, no, out of character, Kim. Raven has some very interesting fucking conversations with animals.
I tell you what, Brett, may I also roll my spies to see if I know anything about Lucan?
Yeah, it's going to be very limited on what you can figure out about Raven, though.
I'll give it a whirl.
I'm definitely okay with telling you a ton. Okay. All right.
Damn.
So, what you know is she is definitely a. What are your spies in?
I beg your pardon?
Like, what is your spy's background? Like, what are they comprised of?
It's kind of weird. It just, at this level of spies, it just says you have eyes and ears everywhere. Because he's got all 5 ranks of spies.
I'd say that'd be the club social street circuit, pretty much.
This okay? Maybe a tad. Okay, would you get maybe a tad limited since Raven just started exploring those circles recently?
Probably also. Do you have any health influence?
Yes.
No, I'm talking.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
They may get a clue in on what you participated in as far as your influence as well, because for you to have certain levels of influence, you have to be fairly recognizable.
Yeah. What Gravedigger definitely gets is there's been a very mysterious woman that has been coming around clubs a bit more often. She seems to be quite popular wherever she goes.
Has at times been seen in the company of a giant redhead.
Yep. She doesn't really drink very much. She drinks a little bit, but she's a very light drinker based on what you can see.
Okay. Gravedigger smiles and he says, I'm wounded, in all honesty, Miss Raven, that you've been frequenting other clubs in the city and not coming to mine.
Well, Mr. Gravedigger, I apologize for my relatively late arrival. However, I wasn't sure if I was personally ready to live that dangerously quite yet.
I find that life without danger is life somewhat dull, mediocritus.
Well, you may be surprised to hear this, but I think there is a large amount of people that prefer it that way.
He'll shrug and he'll say, yes, however, many people live their lives as if they're already half dead.
Raven will will smile a toothless smile. Maybe so.
Do you have the mask on?
Not here, no, because that looks sketch as fuck.
Okay.
She's
Remember your permanent fangs, though.
Yep, she is taking care to like cover her lips as she speaks, because that is something you can do even with the flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at a goth club, fangs isn't that big of a deal. They're just gonna think.
I was going to say, chances are like half the clientele have, the shitty prosthesis fangs that you can put in for a night.
Yeah, that's part of the reason Raven's going masculine, is because she blends in here.
That's true.
I mean, Gravedigger, if you actually look at him, his left incisor on the right, on the upper right, and the lower one on the left, his lower canine, left, have silver capped fangs on them that look incredibly sharp.
Oh, okay.
Because there is a reason when you need your blood to do some of your casting and you don't have a knife nearby.
Yep, just go Attack on Titan on that shit on your hand.
He leans back. Gravedigger will lean back in his chair, and he'll say, "So, trying to experience the nightlife of Hong Kong."
In a way of sorts, yes.
You shall have to join us when my second club opens this month at the grand opening.
Second club? I didn't realize you were that prosperous.
He'll shrug. Times have been good to me. Carpe Jugulum, we've decided to call it. I figured that you might enjoy the name.
It does have a way of rolling off the tongue, I suppose.
So, Satoshi-san. Oh, sorry, it would be, how do you pronounce it? Hironori?
Hironori, I think.
Yeah, Hironori.
Hironori-san, did you ever straighten out your business with the PLA?
He'll smile. I am working on it as fast as I possibly can.
I would think that after the incident at insert name of island here, and the recent terrorist activities, that they'd be clamoring.
Liandu.
That after the events of Yanjin Island and the various other terrorist activities, they'd be clamoring for more arms to clamoring for more arms to repel the vile terrorists.
He'll clasp his hands behind his back, still smiling. Yes, they are. Which is putting a bit more pressure on myself and my factories.
Well, I have no doubt that you will rise to the occasion.
I will indeed. I have never disappointed a client before.
No, you don't strike me as the type who disappoints.
Indeed, I do not.
But yes, in order to be fully, how to say this? Oh, Did you ever tell your leader, I believe you call him your prince, that I wish to speak to him?
I have spoken to a few others, and who would probably be better to deliver the message.
By all means, I'll happily give the information to whomever deems it the most, how to phrase this, profitable.
I have no doubt that you would.
Well, when one's business is information, it's after all helpful when one can sell one's product. Would you not agree?
No, I agree entirely.
Gravedigger kind of lets his gaze drift out over the dance floor, and he says, though I would like something to be made perfectly clear, and I'm not sure if you have done in the past, but correct me if I'm wrong, if the stories are false, because I don't consider myself an expert in this. From what limited information I've been able to gather, you do require blood to sustain yourselves. Yes?
Indeed.
So I would think that you would view places like this, and he kind of extends his hand outwards to gesture to the dance floor, to be smorgasbords and banquet halls. The young, the foolish, the drunk.
I'll look out over the board, and Brett, can he see any kind of business people down there? Or
I'm sure there's a couple that are just letting loose.
He'll, kind of look at him and then look back, and then back to Gravedigger and shrug. Wouldn't exactly say a smorgasbord, whatever that word is.
Basically, the reason I say this is because I would very much like it if my clubs were to remain unviolated.
I see. I understand your concern. And well, I myself can promise that I have no desire to feed from anyone who steps foot into your club. Not say the same for others in this city.
Yes. This is why I want a unit. I was trying to procure, I believe the phrase would be a unilateral agreement.
Well, as you know, I am new here and have not established a very large foothold for myself in the community here. He'll glance over at Raven. If you wish to do anything like that, I suggest you talk to Miss Raven here.
Timmy there?
Yeah. She'll look at Gravedigger and she'll say, what you would call a Tim's having a hard time pronouncing that word right now. It's late.
Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. What you would call a smorgasbord or a buffet or a banquet, I would call, she looks down, cheap fast food. Not to insult your business, but the music's much too loud to really get much of anything done in that regard. So you have nothing to worry about from me personally.
It is the individuals of your kind who might not have as many scruples or have such excellent table manners, and I guess I'm worried about.
But of course.
After all, he shrugs his shoulders. I'm a very generous friend to those who are my friends.
And are we already your friends or just acquaintances right now?
He smiles again very widely, and he says, Oh, I'd like to think of us as bosom buddies, I would.
Then that we are.
As I've said, and he turns his eyes to look down at the crowd. While they're under this roof, I protect them. When they're not here, I don't give a damn. But it's bad for business, I suppose, having people in fear of coming into a place for what might happen. And rumors are always a thing.
They are. I can at least tell you this much. I can pass this request along. So that way there's no problems between our nighttime activities and your nighttime activities.
How wonderful. Most excellent. So, do forgive me, Miss Raven, but am I to infer from how the most honourable Satoshi here, or Honori, beg your pardon, Honori-san, addresses you that you are his superior?
I wouldn't say superior. I have more out of character that Venture blood. Like what?
At that point, can I totally roll perception empathy to get the reaction of Satoshi because it's going to be worth it?
Actually, can I also get the perception empathy?
Yeah, let me roll his what is it?
Manipulation subterfuge.
I'm activating aspects for sight.
Oh no, he can't. Oh, because Dignus or dig whatever the fuck that word is.
What?
Dignatus. Yeah, the Venture Dignatus. They're not supposed to like.
Dignitas.
Yeah,
Dignitas.
that thing. I suck at pronouncing words. Oh, and I've got honey tongue.
Dignitas is your station within the clan itself. It's not
Yeah,
really.
like you're not going to lose Dignitas for
I thought I read something. I thought I read something in one of the books, and it was like or like showing extreme emotion or something like that is looked down upon or something.
Yeah. If you do flip out in front of other Ventru, like it is like they will give you shit for that.
Well, technically, if you do that in front of other vampires, and we're not talking like a hissy fit, we're talking like your beast is almost about to rip somebody's throat out, then you lose Dignitas for that.
Okay. Also, would honey tongue work here? Because it just says all subterfuge attempts gain 1 success.
But you're not really speaking.
Yeah.
It's only supposed to work on speaking.
Okay. Okay.
Both myself and
so-
Logan crack here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
damn.
the little Ventru salty? Is the
He,
little Ventru salty?
He's giving hella side eye to the both of you.
Oh, look at the little high kid getting all mad. I'm sorry. I love you.
Okay.
It's a little Satoshi.
So what is Satoshi's general demeanor?
He looks very, 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 very insulted at that.
Okay, now I need to roll manipulation subterfuge. As Minnie and ST know, Raven is kind of, sort of, not really, but kind of an anarch. Oh, she can't even hide that shit.
Oh,
Funny
yeah.
as fuck. It was funny as fuck.
Yeah. You're loving this way too much.
I am.
Gravedigger is just sitting there. Hang on, I'm gonna roll his just to see if he can avoid the shit-eating bread.
Everybody's about to get hella offended up in here.
It's good.
He has 2 successes if you want to try and see through his shit-eating bread.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
Oh, damn.
shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh.
oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
no.
guys both of you see through that shit.
Yep. He's just like Gravedigger's like his face is kind of stony, but then you see the slight upturn of his lips and the kind of gleam in his eyes. He's like, "Yes, I found the sore spot." Mm.
Oh my God. I gotta say, I love playing this dude so much. It's great.
It's so fun. I love this right now. I want to lose you for that shit talk. Fucking Hironori walks in. Oh, hello, Mutt Princess. How's it going? Oh, hell no. That's how that starts.
I mean, Brett hasn't even dropped plot on us yet, so it's all good. We're not dead.
I may be too tired to drop plot, but this is better than that. I'm just waiting for somebody to call in the prince, and the prince just be like, "So what's going on in here?"
Right. The next thing that happens is he just
As a matter of fact, he will lean back and he will say, "As a matter of fact, as I've said to your junior Satoshi."
Oh,
Oh my God.
Ray, you tell her when that frenzy check is needed.
Oh my God. I'm crying. Do I need to do like? No. Oh, dude. Yeah, he looks. Oh man.
Yeah, there's some hella shit. Just
Wait a minute. Oh my God.
radiating.
Brett, wait a minute. Raven objectively has more status than Hironori right now.
Yeah, that's true.
On top of that, oh no.
Oh my God. I need to do more shit to get status on this guy like pronto.
Do it. Because like Raven's already whipped and she's been recognized as brave by the court.
Yeah. Well, like I would have done it earlier, but like downtime and
But no, as
downtime
I
is
have
cool.
said to your, no, he's. I'm repeating. He's not saying it again. As I said to your junior, Hideyoshi, is it Hideyoshi? Hironori. Hironori, I require a meeting with your superiors, individual who rules this city, from your perspective, because there is a great threat facing both of us. Something that your ruler needs to be informed of.
I can definitely get into contact with him, I assure you. When would you like to have this meeting?
Well, frankly, I should have done so last month, so as soon as is possible.
Then, if you don't mind, if he has any free time, I can simply hit him up and have him come on down here. Or we can set up a new... Oh, sorry,
yeah,
what did you say? Oh, Gravedigger said he was cool with him coming down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, Brett, Raven is going to send Gravedigger a text that just says...
Gravedigger?
Send Liam a
It's going to send Gravedigger, yeah, no, not Gravedigger, Liam a text that says, hey, some guy named Gravedigger wants to come by and see you. He's from a club where a lot of weird shit goes down.
You get back a text that says, "There's a human called Gravedigger. Am I meeting you at a cemetery?"
No, actually. A club called Carpe Noctem. Well, like I said, lots of strange stuff has happened there. The birds don't like to visit.
What sort is he?
You've never asked him.
Definitely not a shifter. He's not a Fae, otherwise he would have been retching and staying away from us.
He's not one of mine. Very well, I'm on my way. So after about 5 minutes, by the way, when your guards try to pat him down, there's this look, and your guards don't want to get close to him.
Raven will just look to Gravedigger and say, he can be a tad rough at times, but don't worry. He's quite pleasant.
The guards will basically be instructed, when he sees they're having difficulty, that they're to leave him alone, and that you will be escorted up to the VIP area.
All right. So this is literally, I mean, everybody's seen what he looks like before. 6'3", red hair, green eyes. He's wearing flannel and jeans and shit kicker boots. And he's got a wrapped bundle slung over his shoulder.
Do I need to relink what Raven
It looks like it's about 6 foot long.
Do I need
Would
to
you like
relink what
to,
Raven looks like? Maybe
what?
Liam can freak out some more?
Huh?
Do
One
I
at a
need to-
time, Tim first.
Yeah, sorry. Do I need to relink what Raven looks like so that way Liam can freak out some more?
Liam's on Path of Heaven. He doesn't freak out like that.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I know.
Every time she dresses up, he kind of looks at her like she's an alien.
Yeah, that's true. All right. I remember what she looks like. It's no problem. Now, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, when he comes upstairs, would you like to also make the perception awareness roll?
Sure. Insightful? Or somebody's in my head?
Insightful, probably, yeah.
One, two, three, 4.
Okay. There is an otherworldly, eerie presence up here that you would probably expect to find in an old graveyard. Does he know anything? Does he know enough about wraiths to connect the dots?
No, but that otherworldly, eerie presence is going to want to get away from him. Particularly the thing on his back.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, the presence will slowly dissipate as the wraith basically goes nope and gets the fuck out. Gravedigger, when he sees the prince, he will stand and he will bow, like from the waist, in the kind of courtly Victoriana English style, taking off his top hat.
He'll just kind of nod and wave his hand and look at Hironori and nod to him and then look at Raven and then look at Raven again. Are you sick, Lass?
Just a deadpan look.
I mean, you're walking around with barely nothing on. I mean, we still can get sick, you know.
She just blinks.
Your garments are fairly unfitting for your typical stock and trade.
It's blending in.
He'll look down at himself. Am I not blending in?
Here, not really.
He'll look around. Dear gods, there's no color here. He'll then yell down into the crowd. You know, there's such a thing as dyes. You can make them in all sorts of different colors and put them on your clothing.
Music's probably so loud that no one pays any attention.
No, he's being quite loud. And I can roll my manipulation intimidation if you want me to.
Oh,
Do it.
Oh god.
Do it.
One, two,
God,
three,
hell.
4.
I mean,
Giant
people
ginger.
probably just look up and it's like, who the fuck is that weirdo? What the fuck is going on? Gravedigger lets his eyes flick down to the assembled crowd. His eyes flick back to the prince, and he says, "I'm not exactly sure what I should call you. Your Highness? Is that the thing?"
He'll turn back. You're not a member of my kingdom, therefore calling me your highness is inappropriate. However, you may address me as my formal title, Sir Liam Kincaid O'Connor, Knight of the Poor Order of Solomon's Temple, also known as the Order of the Knights Templar, Defender of the Faith, Protector of the Realm. But Sir Liam will be fine.
Sir Liam, may I offer you refreshment before we begin?
Aye, if you have any mead.
You can see, for once, he kind of has a moment of like his eyes kind of go back into his head for a moment. It's just like, if I have nope. He's just like, I'm afraid we don't carry mead.
Aye, 'tis a shame then. If establishment like this without mead, It's like an establishment like this without whiskey.
That we have. Would you like whiskey?
Aye, a tall one.
Oh, very good. Gravedigger walks behind the bar and he pours you like a single malt from the top shelf and will hand it to you.
How big is it?
When he says he probably gives you like a double or a triple.
He's gonna look at it and go, "Dear God's lad, I asked for a tall one. I suppose this will be fine then." He'll sit
Can I
down
just
with
leave
it
the bottle?
and he'll
I can leave
knock
the
it
bottle.
back in one shot and set it down.
Gravedigger just leaves the bottle on the table near him and is like, right. Well, where are my manners? My name is Gravedigger. It is a pleasure. It is my pleasure to meet you. In that case, Sir Liam.
Unusual name for unless it's your profession. At which point, you may want to lead in with the fact that it's your profession.
He contemplates and he says, "There comes a time and a place where names and deeds become interchangeable."
Oh, in that case, you can call me Slayer of Poor Bastards.
Very well then. Gravedigger retakes his seat and he steeples his fingers in front of him, and he says, "There is a small issue facing our city. Well, there are many of those, but one that is unfortunately directly placing your kind and mine in conflict."
There are many of those that can occur like that, lad. You'll have to come at me a bit more specific.
Correct. Just correct me if I'm wrong, Rex. It's been a long time. Mordecai? Mordecai? Is it Mordecai?
Yeah.
Okay. An entity named Mordecai. I'm sure you're familiar with him.
There are two of mine that are currently charged with hunting him through this city and making his life hell.
Well, considering he contemplates, he taps his finger to his lips a few times and he says, "Myself and my associate traveled to the world beyond this one in order to gather answers as to the nature of this entity. And we were given answers."
You took answers from the restless dead and you trust them. Well, maybe you're not as smart as most mages are claiming to be.
You see, he smiles and he says, "Oh, don't pay any attention to them. A lot of the times those wiggly finger types are a lot more pizzazz and a lot more image than they are absolute substance."
But I've seen one of them burn a whole village to the ground, so I don't put too much stock in what they say, more in what they do.
I'm not the kind who likes to burn things, so it's all good, really. But basically, in order to kind of give an explanation. So, this entity, this Mordecai, is the reason one of the three towers fell. You know, the three pillars of faith?
It was linked to an individual that called himself the Horseman.
Yes,
A
his lieutenant.
practitioner who is now dead.
Yes, his lieutenant. Mordecai's lieutenant. Mordecai wishes to... Okay, because it was quite a while and it was a really long scene. He wants to knock down the barriers of faith so that his evil, deathly overlords can come onto the earth, or something, words to that effect.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Basically, in order to speed things up, because Evan can't rightly remember, Gravedigger will explain to Liam everything that he learned in the other side, bar the fact that Mordecai is a Cappadocian. He'll keep that out.
Okay. So you're basically telling him, yeah, he's trying to bring a demon into the world. Right?
Yes.
Bailey trying to bring a demon into the world. Must be
And,
Tuesday.
yeah, he will use the words like Bali. He will say that, like, he's upset, that he's shackling the souls of the Giovanni to his personal service. Basically, he will relay everything that is not he is Cappadocian, because he promised he wouldn't say that.
Right. Well, the Giovanni have made many enemies in their lives. That one necromancer would be taking control of their souls would be considered turnabout being fair play. However, I understand this thing has also been raising the dead in my domain, and that is something I will not have truck with.
Gravedigger nods, and he says, "Yes, and the horseman, this entity almost killed Mr. Arthur Wainwright. Charming fellow. I don't know if you've ever met him."
From the description I was given, I think he barged into our sacred space at one point and proceeded to tell people how to do things. But at that time, it was believed he was a member of the other organization, the Sabbat, and not actually a member of mine. Speaking of Raven, have you had any issue with the Sabbat lately?
Other than our last assignment, I've had none personally.
It's not like them to keep their head down. They must be up to something. Or maybe they know as much as we know and are trying to keep themselves out of the way.
I can see what I can find out if you like.
Don't put yourself into too much danger.
I never do. And she'll look and she'll think about it. Actually, I do quite often now. The city's got me in bad habits.
Remind me, I'll train you up to be a little more resilient.
I might take you up on that.
These two individuals in particular were responsible in helping to deter some rather nasty things happening. Raven and a few others took down some of the war ghouls that were running around.
Yes, Miss Adriana Ramirez contracted myself and my associate Spider in order to find the Cathedral of Flesh. That is a sight I wish to never see again.
Did you see it while it was still alive?
Yes. Well, rather, we saw to a point where it was alive.
Haven't walked inside one myself, but then I recommend it.
No. But yes, it is rather but yes, this individual, this Mordecai, must be dealt with before the other pillars of faith are disrupted. I do not wish to see Hong Kong if his hellish lords are allowed to set foot in this fair little city of ours.
Lad, I will tell you one thing you need to know about Mordecai. He's a Baali. Even if he were running around kissing puppies and playing with flowers, I'd still want his fucking head mounted on me wall. And if I get my chance, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't care who gets in my way. I don't care who dies in the course of it. He and all of his plague-bearing ilk will be destroyed. Do not let this individual touch you. Do not touch anything that belongs to one of his minions, or else you will contract a disease that will ravage your body faster than Nosferatu can ravage a biscuit.
I don't know what a Nosferatu is.
But you're not missing out.
Gravedigger just kind of like, he looks down at his glass and he puts it on the table. He's just like, nope, I clearly haven't drunk enough for this. But he will then straighten up in his chair and he will say, "If I may ask a small favor for the information I've given you."
He'll kind of raise an eyebrow and there's a slight reddish gold gleam in his eye. A favor.
Yes.
He'll look over at Raven, and you see he's got gleam up.
He's got what up?
He's got Eyes of the Beast.
Okay.
So his eyes are glowing red, and he'll look back to you.
It may be worth at least hearing out. He did give us good information, after all.
It's nothing we haven't already heard.
But still, it's the thought that counts, right? It was just Christmas.
What sort of favor would you require from the most powerful vampire in this domain?
Basically, and he leans back in his chair. We have the Taros Council, as I'm sure you're aware of. We have these agreements that bind us all together in this city in a spirit of harmony. And now that I'm about to open a second premises, a second venue, a second cloister, I merely said that I do not want people in this place to be, would the term prey be correct? Is prey the right word?
You wish your cattle to not be fed upon. Is that what I'm understanding?
Whilst in my home and in my establishment, yes. My establishments, yes. Outside, I don't care. That is their business. In here, this is my place.
He'll look over at Raven. By my word as prince, you will take this to Miss LaBelle. And you will take this to Mr. Basrab. And you will have this be law. Unfortunately, my word only extends to those of my particular organization in my house. Should the Sabbat violate it, that is not my problem. Do you understand?
He'll nod and he'll say, when we had to combat, what was his name? Zalish? Yeah, Zalish. I was told of his name later. When we had to combat him, I became aware that there was a factional split of ideologies between your kind. So you have given me your word, and I trust a man of honor to honor his word.
At the mention of the name Zalish, the eyes are glowing bright red.
Let's do a perception empathy to get his true feelings on the mention of the name.
Fuck it. Raven's brave as shit, and Liam knows that she goes a little ham sometimes. Raven will just very, very gently kind of place her fingers on his hand.
That's his manipulation subterfuge. The only indicator.
Yeah, no, he's a mystery. I got the one success.
Yeah, the only indicator you get is those glowing red eyes. All right, so Raven's placing a hand on him. He doesn't jerk his hand away, and you can tell from the pulse of his beast that he is not on frenzy, but he is still feeling those feelings of losing one of his best friends.
Yeah. I don't know if you want me to roll to comfort. I was just
no, it's okay. You don't have to roll that.
Yeah.
Let's just say that not everybody agrees on how things should be run in this domain. However, those Sabbat that I have run into have seemed to have an inkling, a sense, and have not blown any of our laws and flouted them in my face. That doesn't mean they won't. It just means that right now they see more benefit in not pissing me off or pissing off the members of my organization than they are in following their own little dangerous methods of play.
I see. Well, Gravedigger places his hand. He places down his tablet as he was making a note on it that the prince had said blah blah blah. And he will say, "Well, Your Highness, or sorry, Sir, good sir. I am an information broker by trade. I sell information, as well as have these wonderful establishments. But that's what I do. I know things. So, if you ever require anything found out, you know that I am always and ever at your service.
He'll nod and he'll stand up. I am not in the habit of taking advice from mortals. Nor am I in the habit of discussing things with them that have to do with my people. You have found yourself in a unique position. It is not one I recommend being in again. We have rules. And even though we have this accord where everybody plays nice, those rules are older than me. They are older than my organization. They are older than the first city. And I will not hesitate to uphold those laws. So, I don't know who you tell things to or who you gossip to. You're human. Humans gossip. Some things are best left unsaid. Do we have an agreement?
Gravedigger tips his hat and he says, absolutely. I am the soul of discretion, me.
Good. You're pretty smart for a Britain.
I do my best.
Raven blinks.
He's gonna look over at Raven and say, "You're smarter than your typical Britain."
We'll kind of chuckle.
At which point he'll then look back to Gravedigger. I will not darken your evening any further. Have a pleasant eve. And he'll look over to Hironori. Hironori-san, do find your way home safe tonight. Should you need anything, let me know. Oh, your Mr. Cuthbert said he had some errands for you to do. It's a bit of an uppity bastard, that one. Look back to Raven. Make sure you dress appropriate before you go home. I don't want you scraping something. And then he'll turn and leave. You'll hear as he's walking out, and I'll go ahead and roll Manip and Tim on it. Only one success. You hear Liam say, "God, all this black makes me think I'm back in church again." As he walks out.
Well, that went well.
The wraith that was haunting you comes back, and it's like, bitch. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Did you see what was on that guy's back?
Question. Would any of my sights have seen anything interesting with the thing on his back?
Unless you can spirit sight into the dreaming, no.
Not yet. Actually, what level of rope would it be to see the dreaming?
In order to use spirit sight to see it's mine too to see into the dreaming. In order to do it with spirit, you have to be physically shoved into the dreaming from the real world.
And at that point, you wouldn't really need spirit sight.
Yeah.
Because you'd just be there.
No,
Okay.
but if you go into the actual dreaming as a mage, you attune yourself to it so you can use spirit to get back there. That's how Arthur can go into the dreaming and still remember everything.
Mm.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he's good at the dreaming. I'm basically trying to do the trifecta of Gravedigger can go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he kind of like, he looks at the wraith, he's just like, yes, yeah, okay. So what was on his back? And you can see Gravedigger's now talking to midair, by the way.
Brace just shaking his head. No.
Raven is oddly enough not freaked out by that.
Raven's been around Arthur. I would say that she wouldn't be freaked out about it.
I mean, also, Okay, also, Raven legitimately spends her free time talking to spiders. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
she's not going to give people shit for talking to things.
Yeah. No, the wraith is just like no. Is like looking at sunlight. No.
Oh, well, one of those. Gravedigger straightens in his chair again and he says,
But yes, needless to say, I'm also at both of your services. Information whispered into certain ears. I'm rather good at that.
And vice versa.
Kim, are you actually there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you say Kim or Tim?
Kim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hiranori will nod and pretty much just say what Raven said, same goes to you if you ever need anything of my services. Do not hesitate to let me know.
There was something I was wondering if you could do for me here in Inori-san.
And that would be...
Oh, nothing much.
And he smiles. Brett, because Evan is not well up on military hardware, Gravedigger is going to say he needs a high-powered sniper rifle. Insert name here.
You'd be looking at something akin to either the Arctic Warfare Magnum 50 cal sniper rifle, the Barrett 50 cal. If you want to get something, I will tell you right now, there's no way Hiranori can get this, but the M82A1A is probably the most powerful sniper rifle in the world.
Well, he will say he requires a high-powered sniper rifle, and he'll kind of look at you to kind of say, "Can you do that?"
Actually, Brett, well, I mean, I know Hiranori in character is going to say yes, but actually out of character, do I have the stuff to even do that? Because I wasn't able to
I don't
get a
think so, because that's military hardware. The most you could do is a 30-30 or 30-06.
Yeah, because I don't have all the influence yet, because I couldn't come in and play with all.
To
Hey,
get
that's
to even
what that's
breathe
for.
on an M82A1A, you would need military influence, which you cannot get.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a plot line. Like, it legitimately could be a plot line. Something that we're trying to get off the black market or something.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Because I totally think that influence stuff like this should be plot.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't think Hiranori really cares much for Gravedigger to go through all that trouble just to get him a weapon. Maybe one for himself, but
I mean, that's fair, but I will say though that it seems that the mages and the vampires operate on it's not quite prestation and boons, but it's prestation and boons.
yeah, I got you.
So I mean, it is up to Hiranori though.
Yeah. He'll clearly think about it for a few moments and then say, it is not easy for me personally to get in contact with these weapons, especially in the city with how it currently is. I will see what I am able to do, but do not put any, he'll kind of snap his fingers. I believe it is stock. Do not put any stock into my abilities to get that particular sort of weapon.
I have nothing but faith in you.
He'll blink. If you say so. As I said, though, don't count on it. The city is not what I am used to back home.
Gravedigger will shrug, and he will say,
Well, looking on the bright side, at least we should have a lovely spring.
Perhaps.
at this point, Gravedigger's going to stand up, and he's going to say,
There are a few other matters that require my attention this evening. as unfortunate as it is. So I will have to bid you two lovely individuals adieu.
All right. As you stand up, the crowd downstairs will part as a Hispanic woman will walk in.
Ah, crap.
Oh, hell. Here comes the plot.
Let's bring it, plot.
She has appearance 5, unforgettable face.
Oh,
And
is she
Raven
just-
automatically recognizes her. She has got long black hair, brown eyes, blood red lips, and is wearing steel-toed boots, a black leather jacket, a red undershirt, and red leather pants.
Brett, is she
Yeah.
the Sabat lady who I saw when we were fighting, when we were beating up Leash?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Okay. Gravedigger kind of stands with his hands on the balcony and he's just like,
Did you invite her?
No.
So she's actually going to walk into the middle of the dance floor, and whatever dance is playing, she's actually going to roll. She's actually going to dance to it because she actually has performance for dance, and she is tearing up the dance floor.
Raven will just look over to Gravedigger and just... She's not going to say anything yet because all this Toreador's... I'm sorry, I don't know her clan. All this woman's done is just kind of dance for right now. I don't think Raven has seen her in character in scene unless she was in the background at a certain point.
I don't know if Raven's actually seen her. Marcus did, but not Raven.
If she was with the Gangrel back during one of the Sabat meetings, Raven may have seen her in the background.
Oh yeah, she was.
Okay, yeah, then Raven definitely remember her from that.
Yeah.
She was there when we defeated Zalish. She was one of your, what was the term? Sabat. One of the Sabat, right?
By the way, she does have sanctity, so there's something about her that seems likable and what's the word? Fragile.
okay. Gravedigger touches his earpiece, that connects him to the rest of the club, and there we go, because I can change. This young lady is going to walk through the dance floor, and is going to basically not quite bow, but she's going to basically kind of nod her head to her and basically say, "Excuse me, my boss was wondering if you'd like to join him and his company for drinks upstairs."
She'll look around and then point her finger at a guy. And I need manipulation subterfuge. 7 dice. She really should have a bigger one than that, to be honest. Then again, this is kind of her old style. Damn. Still got 1 success though.
Those ones, though.
Two successes, yeah. And one of the guys will peel off from the crowd and walk over to her and start dancing with her. She'll look at the redhead and she'll say, "I think I can manage my own drinks just fine, thank you."
The redhead will turn away and she'll basically tell that to Gravedigger, who you can physically see. He kind of hits the banister of the railing of the balcony with his fist in kind of frustration.
Well, it would appear as though your Sabat wished to make a statement.
He'll relay the fact that she's basically going to drink this guy dry.
Raven is just kind of watching this.
All right. She will turn up the heat on the dance far outside what the music is, and then she'll lead the guy outside.
Raven will look over and say, "You did say not here. Doesn't look like it's happening here. Still, though."
Brett, Gravedigger is going to use correspondence to cast his vision outside.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast again just to do it for. I've succeeded. I just need to cast it. Scene.
Just out of curiosity, how does Great Digger scry?
I beg your pardon.
Like, how does he scry?
In terms of
Like,
Practice.
yeah, practice in instruments and shit.
basically, he fails that. I'll spend a willpower roll again. Basically, what he does is there are dozens of basically cut sigils that basically he scarified his entire body. Every
Oh, right, I
scar,
remember.
every
I
scar
remember-
symbolizes a rope that he knows. So what he does is he basically taps his thumb against his really sharp incisor tooth, and then puts it onto the appropriate sigil, which are mostly on his arms, the one he uses most often. And then he'll just basically cover his eye that has an eye patch on it with the hand that he has the droplets of blood on, and he will just then perceive wherever he needs to perceive
I can dig it.
by basically commanding the universe to do what he says. Yep. That I got with spending a willpower, he succeeds. So I'll be able to change my perspective around. But yeah, so I'm basically following her with correspondence.
Okay. Since you don't have a sympathetic bond to either the guy or the girl, you can only track them outside of your club.
Okay.
All right. So she leads him outside, leads him into an alley. You see 3 people all of a sudden emerge from the shadows around the guy, and then he falls over. You see them looking around frantically, and then they look up, and give me a minute, let's see. Dex roll. She punches a building and cracks it, like out of rage, before she motions to her friends, and they pick up the guy and they get in a van and drive off.
His eyesight will snap back to, or he'll blink his eye to end the clairvoyance. So he just fell over. Is that what you said? The guy who they were bringing
Yeah,
just kind of
like literally, they were surrounding him, getting ready to do whatever they were going to do to him, and he went rigid, and then collapsed bonelessly to the ground.
Okay, because I have an entropy sight up when I change my perspective. Did he die?
Yes. He was alive, and then he died, and you had spirit sight up, so you saw all of a sudden he had a soul, and then he didn't have a soul.
Gravedigger cocks his head to the side, and he says, "That was wrong."
Do you get?
Brett, I'm gonna look down at the crowd quickly. Is there anything wrong? Is there anything wrong with the crowd? Like anything that stands out?
Yes, there is.
Okay, what stands out?
You see somebody sitting at the bar not drinking. Roll perception alertness.
Does Raven recognize this person?
No.
And I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
Because I've altered probability for my roll. So that is a grand total of 4 successes because of the willpower.
Okay. You don't have any life sight, do you?
No, I
You
don't
do
have
have
life
spirit
sight.
sight. You have spirit sight and entropy sight up. Yeah, there's a vampire sitting at the bar, watching
Have I seen him before?
her. And no.
Okay.
Did you ever see? God, think of Christina Hendricks with short hair,
Oh
like
my god.
like not Page Boy short, but like Aeon Flux short.
Okay.
That's who's sitting there.
Okay. Gravedigger is going to basically tell the other two that they brought this child outside. They brought the boy outside, and he had his soul physically. From what I saw, was his soul removed, or did it just cease to be there? Was it like pulled out?
It's hard to tell because you were trying to see multiple things at once. But that's nasty. His body jerked, and then his soul was gone.
Okay. I will describe that
Maybe
exactly.
right back. I got to go wash my hands.
Okay, no worries. So yes, you will receive the information about the soul not being there anymore.
That certainly sounds interesting.
So Toshi just stands there with his hands clasped behind his flat back, just looking down at the dance floor, thinking.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Basically, I was just informing.
Something. Is there a vampire lore check I can make to see if there's a discipline that fucks with souls like that?
It would be kindred lore, not vampire lore.
I'm not sure
Can I
if the
make a
difference would be in that one.
If you took vampire lore as one of your starting, it really should have been kindred lore because vampire lore is basically, oh yeah, stakes, oh yeah, sunlight.
Okay, yeah. Do you mind if we just change that to kindred lore? Because I didn't know that we, at the time, I didn't know that we had differentiated between K-Knight, vampire, and kindred.
Yeah, you can. That's fine.
Okay.
K-Knight though is more old vampire lore than more old kindred lore than kindred lore is. So,
Yeah. So we'll just make it kindred lore then.
yeah, you can
I
make a kindred lore roll.
lore check to see if I know it's like Giovanni Necromancy.
What?
Oof.
Can I make a Giovanni clan lore roll?
You have Giovanni clan lore?
Yep.
How did you get that?
Michael Buccarati gave it to me when I did a favor for him.
You mean Jonathan Buccarati?
I do mean Jonathan Buccarati.
Okay, yeah, you can roll Giovanni clan lore.
Can I roll my kindred lore as well?
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's a necromantic practice of the Giovanni to rip souls out and throw, and either beat the shit out of them or throw new souls into those bodies so they can manipulate them.
Yep.
Or just raise them from the dead and have them walk around like corpses.
There's 2 successes. I failed the first roll, and I just rolled a higher death.
Yep. Yeah, you know about necromancy. Necromancy can do a lot of bad shit with souls.
At which point I'm going to inform them that there's another unknown kindred sitting down at the bar, and do they know them?
She does not look like anyone I know, but she definitely looks like someone a lot of people want to get to know.
At this point, Gravedigger is going to say, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go down to the main bar and say hello. Or you can come with me.
I'm a bit curious. What about you? And she looks at Hironori.
He'll nod.
So they will make their way downstairs, and Gravedigger will note the fact that she's not drinking. Smiling, he will say, "Oh, do forgive me. I'm the proprietor of this establishment. May I offer you a drink?"
No, thank you. Your top shelf looks a little too weak for my taste.
Okay, so spirit sight. She doesn't have any wraiths or anything hanging around her, does she?
No, but there are a fuck ton of Banes sitting around her.
Describe a fuck ton.
The rest of the spirits in the bar are like actively fighting against them to get them out.
Like, nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
This bitch
Fuck.
isn't even on anything resembling humanity, is she?
No, she's not. It's more like fuck you, 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 fuck you. Get the fuck out.
And Raven just thinks, well, that's what we're doing today.
I apologize due to the lack of apparent strength of my upper market booze. Out of that.
See that you do. I'm just here to have a good time.
Where are my terrible manners? Gravedigger is my name. And he extends his hand.
Carmen. And she'll reach out to take your hand, and I need perception awareness checks from everyone.
Oh, hell.
This is based on sight.
This is it's awareness, not alertness, and it's based off feeling, not sight.
There's
Get the
a
feeling that the willpower is worth spending here.
wait,
Okay.
actually. There.
Yeah, you got one success.
3 successes with the willpower.
Yeah, I'll spend a willpower.
Okay.
3 successes.
Okay, for Tim. This chick is wonky. For the people with 3 successes, dear God, don't touch this woman.
Out of curiosity, does she have a reflection?
Yes, she does have a reflection.
I will point out, how would you ask that, Tim?
What do you mean, how would I ask that?
As in, how does she, that there are no, I will point out, Carpe Noctem has no reflective surfaces like that.
Oh,
No mirror.
okay. I thought the bar would have been reflective. My bad.
No, because for the very simple reason, Gravedigger doesn't cast a reflection.
Okay. That's it. Okay. My bad. Scratch that question. I didn't know that you had that made specifically for that. My bad.
It's cool. I just said I'd ask because it's just like, nope. Nope.
All right. So she's reaching out to shake your hand, which you offered. You, Evan, and you, Kim, both get the "Dear God, don't touch this woman" vibe off of her.
Does anything actively happen to Gravedigger as he touches her, though?
I'm waiting to see if he actually does.
Fuck it. Before, like the handshake happens and everything, Hiranori will kind of just slowly, or not slowly, but just kind of push Gravedigger's hand down. In a very graceful way. Because he's graceful.
As Raven
Gravedigger will allow his hand to be pushed down without much effort. It's just going to be like, whoop.
Yeah.
Raven will cover
go
this. Raven will cover this up by getting a little Valley Girl up in this piece. British Valley Girl. So this may get a little interesting as she kind of comes on up and says, "Oh my God, I love that dress. Where did you get that?"
To a smile. It's custom. I don't think you could afford it.
Maybe not, but I'd still like to know the guy that made it for you.
A very dear friend of mine. Last name Armani, first name Giorgio.
Oh, your personal friends.
Quite, yes. He's rather taken with me.
I can see why.
Is there anything I can do? I'm afraid I don't do girls. Sorry.
Neither do I. I'm just being friendly.
I'm sorry, were one of these two your mate?
I'm currently accompanying him along with his night.
So the blonde is open for business?
I suppose that would be up for him to decide.
Which one of us are you discussing?
I assume she's talking about Gravedigger.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm also
wait.
saying, so if you actually look at both of our pictures, obviously we've both got white blonde hair, so it's kind of
Yeah.
close.
No, he's got it's the way the picture is, and he's actually got black hair. His sideburns are gray though. But wait, does that mean that Raven just said?
Yeah, Raven didn't. I mean, that's how Carmen took it.
Just said that Satoshi was. Oh,
What's your current willpower? Gravedigger.
My current willpower 6.
Okay. 1 success.
Are you trying to dominate me or do a mind affecty thing?
I don't know how it works on. Considering the fact that it's entrancement.
I think it bounces off mind shield.
Okay. I'm not a mage ST. However, I would say yeah. But that's kind of HST's call right there.
I'm gonna say yeah because it doesn't. It bends emotions. It doesn't manipulate mind. It manipulates emotional response. But emotional response is covered under mind shield. So yeah, so it basically doesn't work, but she thinks it does. Why don't you come with me?
Perception. So can we make perception awareness rolls to kind of determine that something wonky just happened?
Yep.
Woo.
4 successes.
Jeez, Tim.
All right.
So the two vampires don't get it, but the mage does.
All right.
Yeah, she just
Mages are
tried.
great at seeing shit.
She just tried to.
definitely.
She just tried to nail you.
Basically, I kind of get the feeling something's just pinged off my mind shield. Oh dear.
Yeah. Why don't you come with me and I'll show you a good time? These other men don't seem to be quite up to snuff, and I have to say I do like your fangs.
Gravedigger smiles and she says, or he says rather, I would rather prefer those who don't try to invade my mind in order to get me into bed.
Oh wait, that's...
Did she just try it again?
No, she just tried to tried to aura percept and failed. You're not exactly normal, are you, sweetie?
No, I'm Gravedigger.
You should meet my friend. He loves graves.
Am I to assume that Honorable Giovanni family then?
Oh no, he hates the Giovanni. They're so detestably incestuous. No, my
That's
friend
something I didn't know.
is a new darkness that is bringing light to people's lives and showing them a better way. You should really meet him. I think you'd like him a lot.
You were talking about Mordecai. Yes.
You know Brother Mordecai.
He has had occasion to visit my little establishment before, yes.
Has he shown you the light of the new darkness, or do you remain ignorant?
I guess I'm just like every other Brit. I like my tea hot, my trains on time, and the old darkness to reign supreme. Thank you very much for the offer.
Suit yourself. What about you two? I'm gonna try to aura perceive again.
There we go.
That's
The 7s and 6s don't count because it's diff 8.
yeah.
So
Bitch.
yeah. So she looks at you too. Ah, you're like me and like him. You can find the embrace of the darkness within. If you just come with me, I can show you the wonders. Brother Mordecai can place his gift inside of you.
Mm, I'm sorry if this comes off as rude. However, I myself find it very uncomfortable, but to have a man I barely know put things inside of me. Would you say that you're on the same boat? Looks at Hironori.
He'll clasp his hands behind his back and shrugs. I have done it once before, but I do prefer knowing them beforehand.
To know the darkness is to know Brother Mordecai. To have you risen out of your shell and embrace the true light that hides behind the darkness. You can become one with us all. Wouldn't that be nice? Especially you, good sir. And she'll stand up and she'll look at you. And what's your current willpower?
Who you asking?
Hironori.
Oh, shit. Willpower of 5.
Oh, all right, this gonna get good.
Oh, shit, dude.
It's a failure, so it doesn't work.
Damn. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just experienced that feeling that you get when the poo touches the inside of your trousers.
Or when it just barely inches up to the fan. Oh hell.
All right, so you guys can make perception awareness rolls to see if you sense more wooginess happening.
I'm gonna spend a willpower on this.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I got 1 success.
3 successes.
Okay. Something woogie happened for everybody that got more than 2. She just tried to fuck with them.
Okay. With the 1 success, do I just
Something weird happened. You don't know what it was. You know it happened around you, though.
I'll just smile and say, I'm going to assume that you're the one who continues to try and use their little abilities on everyone. I would ask kindly that you stop. I find it very annoying to be toyed with. Normally I'm the one that does that sort of thing. It's odd to be on the receiving end.
That would make you either a Toreador or a Ventru, wouldn't it?
Or someone who just doesn't like to be fucked with.
No, but if you prefer to be on the fucking end, you're either using the rose or you're using the scepter. You look like a scepter kind of man to me.
Perhaps.
I was once one of the roses until I found my true calling. Now I'm alive. More alive than I've ever been as a Toreador.
Brett, I'm spending 1 blood point on stamina and 1 blood point on dexterity.
Okay.
And 1 on strength.
Okay.
He'll kind of chuckle. You do seem like a rose, don't you?
Tell me, did you ever find a way to extricate that scepter from your ass?
Oh,
She'll look over at Raven. You understand what I'm talking about. It's no wonder they stand up so straight.
I have seen very many from the scepter. Sometimes the scepter is very firmly lodged, sometimes the scepter is where it needs to be.
So nobody's going to play with me tonight. Maybe I should take one of these individuals and show them the true meaning of the new darkness. So she'll stand up from the bar and start walking, and then all of a sudden she'll tilt her head to the side. Oh, but I was having fun. And she'll look back to you guys and say, why do I never get to have my fun?
Probably because of the new darkness. I don't know about you, but the old darkness, you have a lot of fun.
He does have a message for you to carry. Tell that antiquated piece of gangrel trash that walks around in a suit of armor that if he has the balls to move the dust that flows through his veins, to face my master head on and not send his bitches to do his dirty work. Just out of curiosity, Tim, how pissed off is Raven at that?
Enough to say the following. How old is your master, by the way?
I've never asked. It's rude.
Oh, okay, that's fine. It doesn't really matter anyway. He's been alive long enough, and that's the best insult that he could come up with. Really?
Would you rather talk to my master personally?
No, I'll pass on the message. However, his particular brand of insults could use a lot of work. I am British, after all. We specialize in ridicule.
She just kind of smiles, and then she looks over at Gravedigger. I'll be seeing you again, sweetie. Nobody resists my charms for long. And then looks at
Oops, sorry.
Sorry. And then he looks at Hironori and says, that goes for you too.
He'll bow deeply and smile. And smile when he comes back up. I can't wait. I'll be sure to have everything prepped.
Alright, what was Gravedigger going to say?
Gravedigger kind of doffs his top hat and places it on the bar behind him and offers a kind of a half bow, and he says,
Ah, yes. However, in general, the people whom I like to make love with, I like to ensure that my, shall we say, parts are functional when it's all said and done and haven't. I'm not sure if there's such a thing as otherworldly gonorrhea, but I would like to check.
She's just going to chuckle, and she's going to walk out. As she's walking out, you see her... Yeah. She reaches out, and she touches one of the people in the crowd, and he falls over and starts twitching.
can I use spirit to try and counter that?
No. Would need life and matter to counter it.
Okay. In that case, no.
Is he actually going through the same things that occur when someone gets the bubonic plague?
Yeah.
Can Raven treat that? She has medicine, and she's been around the bubonic plague long enough.
The problem is that you don't have the medication on hand to treat it. What you would have to do is you would have to completely transfuse his blood with somebody else in order to stop it. There is only one thing that you could do right now to keep him from dying, and you don't want to do that.
Is it embrace?
No, it's ghoul.
Actually, if Raven manages to pull off a transfusion, quote unquote, does it have to be a third stage blood bond?
No, just one trade of your blood would be enough to put him into the ghouling, and then all of a sudden his cellular degeneration stops.
Okay.
However, you have to make sure that none of that blood gets inside of you.
Raven can do that. She has medicine 3.
Okay.
There's In that, Gravedigger kind of looks at him, looks at Raven, and kind of like, what's wrong with him?
Bring him upstairs. I know what's going on with him. I can treat it. Essentially, he was caught the plague. A very
Is he safe to handle?
Sorry?
Gravedigger asks, is he safe to handle?
For you, not so much. For me, not so much. But I'd rather not see a man die on your dance floor tonight.
Screw it. I'm gonna spend 2 blood to boost my strength up. That'll put me at strength 4.
All right, you're wearing gloves, aren't you?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you can move him safely. With the amount of clothing you have on, you can move him safely.
Yeah, you know, he's
Basically, Gravedigger just kind of touches his earpiece again, and the music will kind of not necessarily die out, but will lull, and his voice will carry through the speakers, and he'll say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize, but someone has been taken ill. The staff are well equipped to deal with this. Please continue to enjoy your evening." And do you want me to make a subterfuge roll to like convince the crowd not to panic or anything?
No, they're fairly well drunk, but the guy's date is very worried.
I'll inform her that we'll call an ambulance for him. And
You
that we'll just
see
take
her
him.
about ready to touch him.
Oh, no. Honey. You don't know what's going on with them. You may move them wrong and it may hurt them more, okay?
She just nods and she's sniffling like her mascara is starting to run.
Listen to me. We're going to do our best to make sure he's okay, all right?
She'll
Just stay
nod
calm.
her head.
Hiranori will pick him up and bring him up to the VIP lounge.
Yep. Raven, who has a purse with her, she'll very quickly just take a dip somewhere in a corner, somewhere where there aren't any cameras or anything. Probably just she'll probably just go to the ladies' room, and basically get a trait of her blood into a syringe.
All right, that's legit.
At which point she'll walk out, and she'll walk out, see the guy, and she'll say, "All right, luckily, I have seen so many more cases like this. I just managed to get something that might be able to stabilize him, at least by the time the ambulance gets here." And she'll find a vein somewhere where she can inject him, and then she will go ahead and insert the syringe, and bam.
All right, roll your intelligence medicine.
All right, I'm going to drop willpower on this.
Smart move.
Good thing I did.
Yeah. Jesus Christ,
One
dude.
success.
Man, the ones have been horrible today.
Yes, they
They really have. Good thing I dropped that willpower. I was like, nah, I'll be all right. I got 7 dice. Nope.
All right, actually, I think you failed it. 'Cause I'm seeing 3 ones.
Ones don't cancel out willpower unless that's a house rule.
That's something that we've had to do. I will let you re-roll it at a higher difficulty.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
I'm drop another willpower because fuck it.
Okay.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Oh yes. That's 5.
Effortless. So, all right. So you inject him with your blood. Congratulations. You now have a 1-point blood-bound ghoul. He will stop convulsing and will fall asleep. And yes, he will remain asleep throughout his ghouling, even though ghouling can be a very violent procedure.
All right. Raven, throughout the whole time, she'll just kind of explain to the woman because she needs a way to break this down.
Yeah. I will say, Tim, as long as he's ghouled, the virus is still in his system. It's just inert. However, once the ghouling wears off, it will ravage him again. So you got to have somebody purify him.
Okay, and that could be done medically, right? Because blood, even a first stage blood bond, lasts for a hot minute.
Yeah, it lasts for a month. So,
and that's more than enough time to actually treat the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
So what Raven will do is she'll kind of tell the date. She'll actually ask her like, how well do you know this man? Are you like boyfriend, girlfriend, or
This is our fourth date.
fourth date? Okay.
I was planning on getting lucky tonight.
Gravedigger just kind of sidles up. You still can.
You get this look in this ew.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Damn. Wait, now I
I'm
have
so
that song posted by Omarion stuck in my head. Damn.
I'm so tempted to say, can I roll my seduction roll? Because she's like low and desperate.
Be in very bad taste, I'll just say that much.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
No, forget I said that. That was just funny. Continue on, guys.
So she'll just be like, I know him well enough, I guess, to sleep with him.
Then all right, I'll have to keep I'll have to keep a lot of this on the down low then, at least until he wakes up. Just kind of sort of confidentiality kind of thing.
She'll just kind of blankly nod her head because
Yeah.
she's like 19.
That's fair. To be fair, Raven looks like she's like in her early 20s and she's talking about confidentiality and shit. Also, Hironori, Raven's a fucking doctor and didn't really say shit.
He's probably like Stranger Things have probably happened.
Is 3 medicine a doctor? Because I've always thought that was 4.
No, 4 medicine is a doctor, 3 medicine is a grad student
Oh, well,
or
I
medical student.
always thought that 3 medicine was a general care physician and then 4 was a specialist.
Yes and no. 1 medicine would make you a nursing assistant. 2 medicine would make you a CPN or an LN. 3 medicine would make you a nurse practitioner. 4 medicine would make you a doctor.
Okay.
Well, 3 medicine would be either nurse practitioner or physician's assistant. And then 4 medicine would be doctor, and then 5 medicine would be specialist.
Okay. I can dig it. Either way, yep. How long is it going to take for this guy to wake up?
Considering the fact that ghouling is supposed to be an all-night process of physiological changes, especially for Nosferatu, Gangrel, or Malkavian ghouls, he's going to be asleep all night.
Are we
Okay.
actually calling an ambulance? Is this thing we're actually doing?
I mean, Raven would advise against it. Just because shit may get weird soon. What you will do, however, is she'll probably tell the woman that she may just want to go ahead and go on home since he's probably going to be out for the rest of the night after her treatment.
She'll just nod and she'll head off home, looking very despondent.
She will tell Gravedigger, I don't want him to be too frazzled upon waking, so if you want, he can stay here, or I can go ahead and take him and keep on making sure he's okay. Although Raven was going to say he may freak out, but with the first stage blood bond, he's just going to be like, ooh, who are you?
Gravedigger casually shrugs and he says, there are rooms downstairs underground that myself and my partners, I suppose the correct term would be, use. He can be brought downstairs or you can take him with you, whichever you feel would be best.
Probably be able to take care of him much, much easier if I go ahead and take him. It's this getting him taken care of is going to be a process in and of itself.
In that case, what we can do is we can have him kept up here in the VIP lounge, kept comfortable. And he looks down at his pocket watch. I'm going to say it's probably about, it's probably about the 1 a.m. mark here, 2 a.m. And he's going to say,
The club will be closed in about another hour, so then we can bring him downstairs and you can sneak him out the back way.
All right.
Tim, your phone's gonna ring.
Oh, all right. Neat. She'll check the number.
It's unidentified or a block number.
Oh, that's fun. Raven will ask Gravedigger, how much you know about computers? I saw you using that tablet pretty well.
The Gravedigger shrugs. I know enough to use them. Why?
Just getting a strange call. Wondering maybe we can run a trace, but no biggie. I'll just go ahead and answer. Raven will flip open the phone. Hello?
All right. You hear a woman's voice on the other end? Are you someplace relatively alone?
Out of character, is it Serena's voice?
Yes, it is.
Raven will say, not right now, but I can be.
Get there now.
Right. Raven closes her phone and looks over at Gravedigger and says,
Did you close the phone?
huh?
Did you turn the phone off, or did you shut it?
Oh, did Serena, like, hang up?
No, she didn't. She stayed. She stayed on the line.
Okay, I assume that Serena just hung up because Serena just kind of does that.
No.
Raven will look over at Gravedigger, cover up the speaker a little bit and say, looks like there's been a change of plans. Mind if we go ahead and take him now?
Gravedigger looks down at the crowd and he'll say, it will look odd if we attempt to move an unconscious body down behind the bar. That's the problem. They think that we've called an ambulance for him. If you require privacy for a phone call, you'd like.
There's help coming, and they need to be somewhere private.
You'll hear from the phone. Go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. I guess that's happening, she'll say.
It's one of those, I'm going to go to the bathroom now.
I guess that's happening if it's possible. I figure in the VIP lounge, there's a VIP bathroom.
Yep.
All right. And so he gets moved.
Actually, she meant you go to the bathroom.
Oh, fuck it. I'm still going to the bathroom. Fuck it. Don't
Okay.
matter.
Once you go to the bathroom, she'll ask, are you in the bathroom alone?
As far as I know. She'll
You
knock on
hear
the-
a crackle of electricity come from over the phone, and she's standing right next to you.
Question. Was correspondence just used? Or something that teleports?
That was more forces.
Yeah, actually, it'd be more... If you had data, that would work, but no, it'd be more forces.
Well, no, this place is warded against people teleporting into it.
That's fine. It's not warded against people using the phone lines.
Yeah, because I think that was some Path 11 bullshit.
No, that was actually telecommunications. Level 5 technomancy.
Oh, damn. Get it.
Okay.
Raven's-
Yeah, no, that's fair, because they're not actually... Yeah, that would be a forces thing. It's not actually, so yeah, no, you're all good. I'll be fine now.
Raven will look at her phone, look up at Serena, look at her phone, look up at Serena. Do you make a habit out of doing that?
You should see me climb out of mirrors. Whereas I sensed a change in etheric currents around here. Something to do with soul dismissal. I need to know what's going on.
One of Mordecai's lackeys came in. She made a bit of a show before infecting one of the men with the plague.
So there's another plague bringer Baali in the city.
Apparently she used to be a Toreador.
Not all of them, but most of them used to be Toreadors. What is it with being a Toreador that makes them bored? Well, I can't say that. There have been members of my clan that have done that way. Were members of my clan that went that way. Show me to the patient, please.
Yep. Raven will walk on in.
You see she's carrying a large satchel with her, and she still has that big ass what looks like a case for a painting, like one you literally carry around with you, on her back.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but who the hell are you?
She's going to look at you. I'm the person that's going to keep a person from dying of the plague, from dying in your home. Wait a minute. She's going to look at. She's going to look at. What did you do?
I rendered the plague inert.
It won't be that difficult. At least he's not a vampire. That takes time.
By the way, Brett, from a spirit side perspective, this is another vampire heals.
I forgot you had that up. Give me 1 minute.
Oh hell.
Very much.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. How badly do I want to scar you?
I mean, this is Gravedigger we're talking about. He like collects mental scars at this point.
Out of curiosity, what is this? What does the human look like? The human patient?
He's Asian, fairly attractive. Doesn't seem to be too particularly. He's average build. I would say that as well.
So what you're saying is he's gonna be my ghoul to get into the high society influence.
He's not that rich.
Damn.
If he was rich, you wouldn't have waited for the fourth date to put out.
Oh. I mean, all right.
You have learned too much, young grasshopper. You have learned much.
Okay, so from a spirit perspective, she is surrounded by some of the. It looks like she's surrounded by Banes, but the Banes that she's surrounded by are afraid of her.
Ah.
So, like, she's surrounded by deep, dark, nasty things that are cringing in her presence.
Who had worse banes, her or the one before her?
Her. The ones that were before her, the Carmen's Banes, were cackling in delight and, like, causing all sorts of issues. These are just like, I hope she doesn't notice I'm here.
Okay. Ah. But does she ping as a vampire?
Yes.
Okay.
Pings is a hell of a vampire. However, she does have Blush of Health.
Vampiest vampire in the galaxy.
So
These are some interesting friends you have, Miss Raven.
We're not friends. Please don't speak in my presence. You're bringing down the intelligence of the entire neighborhood.
Raven will look over. Oh, we're not friends?
We're associates. I don't have friends.
Seems someone watches Sherlock.
She'll look up and look over at Hiranori and say, wow, somebody that's smarter than Lestrade. That counts for literally everybody in the world.
I'll just chuckle.
She's going to pull out what looks like some kind of ointment and rub it on her hands. I was hoping not to have to use this so soon. At which point, she's going to look over at Hiranori, remove his clothing.
Normally I wait for the third date for that, but whatever, and he'll start doing that.
Okay. You notice that there are black lines running through his body. As she runs her hands over those lines, the veins, they will vanish. And she'll do that to his entire body, including the downstairs place. And she'll do it with an almost mercurial precision and lack of any emotion. By the way, she is coldly logical, so she doesn't show emotion very easily. Once she's done, you would swear you smelt it burning. and the ointment literally evaporates off of her hands. Because Hand of Flame plus what is it? The one that lets you turn your flames invisible works really well in the Masquerade. Power of the Invisible Flame, that's what it is, yeah. She'll then stand up and look at Raven and say, stay away from him for a month and he'll be fine. Now, where's this bitch?
The said bitch fucked off. I do apologize if I'm lowering the intelligence quotient of the room by, answering your question.
She will fix you with a very measured glance. The wisdom of asking somebody who is obviously more powerful than you are who the fuck they are is not a wise thing. Therefore, you judge yourself mentally incompetent. If you would like to continue to prove yourself in that manner, please do keep talking. Otherwise, find a way to prove that you're not mentally incompetent and do it.
Nope, just happy being incompetent. Thank you very much.
Just gonna look
You can
over.
actually see you pondered that for a few moments.
And we're walking, and we're walking, and we're gonna find a way to track the chick, and we're walking.
She's gonna look over at Raven and say, you need to find better friends. Please tell me my dear child does not associate with these individuals.
Them I just met tonight, although we got off to a booming start.
As I said, bosom buddies, us.
And I mean, I do have some great friends. I got you. And then she'll just kind of do that clicking noise, point to Serena. This is all specifically to troll the fuck out of Serena.
Yeah, I figured as much. She just rolls her eyes. Well, I'm glad I was able to help out as much as I'm able to. I need to go outside and track the etheric currents and find out who ripped a soul from distance.
Raven's also heading on out because her plan is hit up Cassandra, her bird, for info.
Yeah. She's going to look over at Hironori and Gravedigger unless they're moving, and she's just going to wave her hand like this and go, cheery bye, and walk out.
Oh, I'm following. This is too amusing to not.
The amount of snark and straight out bitchery in this scene right now. No, not even right now. This entire fucking scene. This has been glorious.
Yeah, as he's walking out, he'll just mutter underneath his breath, I'm not even British. It's not hard to notice. Because, yeah, like this whole time he's been speaking with a heavy Japanese accent because he's been there for like 67 years now.
It was aimed mostly at British Gravedigger, not at you, but,
I fully accept this.
I don't know, though. I consider Serena at least a little British. At least Raven.
So hang on. On a purely out of character note, who is Serena?
Serena Carlson, Lord of the Third Circle, House Arcanum, Clan Tremere.
Oh god!
And you were like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, the Tremere, though.
I mean, to be fair, she did just kind of roll up and be like, yo, bitch.
Yes, but that's Serena's MO.
That's
kind
been
of
her
randomly walk out of a third story randomly walk out of a third story bathroom
that previously had no one in it.
Yep.
Just a curiosity, could I use kind of a long shot, but could I use underworld or street influence to see if they've seen any like a woman? And he described the chick, but could I use that to see if like anyone has seen that woman walking around?
Yeah, you can put that in as an influence action. I can get to you on that later on. Maybe not tonight, but in the next couple of days.
Okay, just to get a head start on figuring out where that the plague chick went.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
All right, so you see she's heading outside and she's heading right to where the guy got sold. The guy fell over where he was surrounded by Sabat. And she's just kind of casting her eyes around.
It's an odd sensation, you know. Gravedigger, he's kind of like leaning against the head of the alleyway. When a soul is there, seeing it, knowing it, feeling it in your presence, in your eye, in your mind's eye, and then it's gone.
It's a curious thing, as usually you have to have a hand on a victim to rip its soul out. Who was with this individual when he died?
Gravedigger will, and once again, cleaning his nails, will describe all the Sabbat that he saw.
No, they're not that smart. So you said the Plague Bringer had a woman here that was also Plague Bringer Extoriator?
That's at least what she implied. She kept talking about the new darkness.
Oh, God. If I had a silver dollar for every stupid kindred that walked around claiming they were the bringer of the new darkness, I'd have enough money to buy this fucking city and burn it to the ground. It's like vampires claiming they were at the crucifixion.
Gravedigger kind of raises his hand. Was anyone actually at the crucifixion?
It was during the day.
That's it, Brett. We need a quotes board for this fucking game now. The amount of quote wording things in this scene alone.
Feel free to start one up, man. It's all you. I fully support that. Start up a quotes board.
Do it.
I'm doing it now. Y'all keep going.
Unfortunately, I was, well, not even a thought when Christ was crucified. It's a shame. I would love to study it. So, a new darkness, a plague-bringing Baali, and he's got a bitch now. Interesting. And I still can't get the friars back into the city because of the technocrats.
Well, technically speaking, Gravedigger said as he, continues to clean his nails, he already had one servant here before, the Horseman. So maybe she's just the next one in line to try and take down the next one of the great pillars, as he doesn't seem to be able to interact with them personally himself.
If she is as much a Baali as he is, then she might not be able to interact with them either. The Baali have a weakness when it comes to representations of faith. So something that's putting off that much faith energy would repel them. No, I think the problem is that he can't recruit not but the dead. That's where she comes in. She can recruit the living. Was she attractive?
I mean, I guess some people think her like,
Appearance 5, by the way.
she's talking to an asexual gangrel.
Yeah, that's fair.
Raven will be like, I mean, I'm sure other people would find her attractive. She had a nice dress. She'll shrug.
By the way, I forgot to tell you, Serena Carlson's also at 5 and photogenic.
It's still asexual.
Yeah, I know. I'm letting the other people know.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Logan want to hit that 8 different ways, but
Logan should be afraid to hit Carlson.
that just makes them want to do it more.
No, the thing about Carlson is that she would, but in such a completely mechanical way. Like, literally, she would perform it flawlessly, but she would perform it flawlessly. Like, there'd be no emotion behind it.
I mean, that's not a bad thing necessarily.
Anyway,
Look, this is a conversation to have when we're not on air.
yeah. Anyway, wrap it back in. So, Carlson will actually pull out a set of 3 rings that are linked by a chain and slide them onto her fingers and then trace them across the air. Sorry.
I forgot to ask him, what did you name this new scene?
I don't know, Kim. What did you name the new scene?
See, Kim normally names the scenes after everything's happened, so Kim knows kind of what to name it. But
Okay.
right now it's just called Stuff.
It's called what?
Things and Stuff, but it's probably going to be Sass Attack afterwards.
That's kind of fitting.
Kind of is.
I just saw that. That's very good, too. So she's basically, you guys can free associate while she's sitting there running these 3 rings through the air.
Raven for her part, she's gonna kind of slip by a little bit, so that way she can get some privacy to do the thing that she needs to do.
Okay.
She'll probably just do a whistle for Cassandra, her Raven ghoul, to come on down.
All right. Cassandra will drop down, land on your fingers.
She'll feral whispers with her and say, "Did you happen to see the redhead that walked out of the club earlier?"
Yeah, she grabbed somebody and walked off.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to talk. I'm gonna need you to talk to some of the other birds around. I want to keep an eye on her. She's something dangerous.
She's not nice.
She isn't.
No.
That's why you guys are gonna get a good bird's eye view.
I understand. But she's hard to get near.
Even from above?
It's like there's something about her that pushes us away. The insects, they don't go near her. The spiders, the dogs growl, the cats hiss, the rabbits run. She is unpleasant to look at.
Even look at. Well, do you think that you guys could at least get subtle glances as to her whereabouts? You don't need to get close.
We will do what we can.
Great. Gives Cassandra a treat.
Cassandra will take the treat and snap it down and say, "Thank you. Be
Go on.
careful."
Will do. You too.
She'll take wing and fly off. At which point Carlson will take the rings off of her fingers and punch the wall. And she punches right near where the Sabacek punched it, and she puts a similar crack there. So there's 2 cracks running down that wall.
This is not of my building, is it?
No, it's on the building next to yours.
Aha! I don't have to care.
The apartment building where all those people died.
Oh.
Oh, the one that fucking Logan and the gang, Logan and Tony and everyone fucking raided.
Yeah, Scooby Gang.
Oh my god, you're calling it the Scooby Gang too?
That's where.
See, I'm sorry, dear. It's just ever since I called you that. Now it's just caught on. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm cool with it.
But yeah, it's that building.
All right.
Those cracks are not, unnoticeable cracks by any stretch of the imagination. You think that there may be some damage to the foundation.
God damn.
Yeah. That's what happens when people with Potence 5 punch things.
Why the fuck does Serena have Potence 5 snipe? She didn't even have fucking Potence as an Inkland.
All I'm going to say is that there was a time when she had to have Potence. And it was so she could not punch Alvin Blake in the face for making one of his apprentices feed babies into.
Yeah, that deserves Potence 5. Anyway, Raven's gonna watch that happen.
She's going to then straighten up and look around and say, I don't know how he did it. However he did it, he didn't use thaumaturgy. There's no power in necromancy that allows that to happen either. I don't understand what this person is doing.
Gravedigger contemplates for a moment, and he says, because with awakened magic, it is quite possible to rip a soul out at distance. You just need the correct amount of spirit, entropy, and correspondence to do it. I am right, am I?
She'll look at you. Yes, if we were dealing with an awakened mage, that would definitely be a thing. I'm going to save you the trouble, Tim. There is nothing really that allows you to do it unless you're, motherfucking Baali with demonic investments.
Tim, is Raven secretly a Bailey or Bali with demonic investments?
Brett, don't say shit.
Not saying shit.
So Raven will look over and say, well, maybe we're not dealing with magic of either of the kind. Maybe there's something a bit more infernal.
She's going to think about that, and then she's going to say, he is a Baali. I suppose he would have access to those things. If you'll excuse me, she's going to take the picture off of her back, open it up, and there's a mirror inside. She's going to set the mirror down. Then she's going to look at Raven. Smash this as soon as I'm through. Let nobody follow me, understand?
Raven will nod and ready in action to slam her heel down on the mirror after Serena does what she's about to do.
Okay. So everybody that's in this alleyway sees Serena walk through the mirror.
And then Raven smashes the shit out of it as soon as Serena gets through.
All it takes is one. And yeah, you see an after image of Serena, and then you smash it, and then it's gone.
But from what you say, it sounds right, for the record, that I think that our dear friend Mordecai is dealing with powers way beyond his ken, giving him certain abilities that might not ordinarily be considered natural.
Hmm. Thing that annoys me about that is I have no idea what kind of powers those entail.
The only way to know might be to ask a demon.
Not today, Satan. Actually, Brett, out of character. In a lot of more strict interpretations of vampire that I play in, which is most of my vampire experience, talking to a demon makes you an infernalist. Do you run it like that?
No, by rule of the Justicariat, you're considered an infernalist by talking to a demon. However, it does not automatic. You have to actively sign a Faustian contract with a demon to become an infernalist. So,
okay,
yeah.
So it's an issue of the Justicariat says a thing to scare the shit out of everyone, but there's really only so much they're going to enforce.
And by Justicarial edict, the only clan that can speak to demons is the Tremere because of Dezagreb.
Wow. Okay, so looks like Adriana's going to get a fucking phone call later tonight.
Funny thing is, Adriana has like demon lore and demonology, so yeah, she'd be the one to talk to.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Raven will say, I have a few friends I can ask about this.
What is it?
For now, though, she'll look at Gravedigger. See any other curious creatures coming about like that? At least if they're of our persuasion. Please let me know. We can figure out something.
By all means. I have my other club's opening to prepare for, and needless to say, I will not be so generous in letting these Sabbat have their way with my patrons again. Not a man who likes to be trifled with.
Fair enough.
He smiles. However, it is disconcerting. And he looks up at Raven, and his eyes kind of narrow for a moment as he looks at Raven, and he says, "Old enemies come to shackle those who once tore them down. Unpleasant thought."
Raven will kind of double take that a little bit. Right, I suppose.
At which point Gravedigger starts walking back down the alley. I leave you to ponder what that means.
She'll look up at Hironori and say, well, tonight ended much, much differently than I expected it would.
I must say it turned out differently than what I would have expected. I won't lie, I had expected something unusual to occur, but not quite on this level.
Have you been to that museum yet?
I have, once or twice.
You ever hear about the time Zamisi just kind of walked into there?
No, but I would be most intrigued to hear that story.
And so as they're just kind of walking, making their way back home, Raven will tell Hironori all about the time that Zamisi just walked into the museum, was driven out by a fly, and then was ganked by a giant alligator in the streets.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, that actually happened in game. It was kind of beautiful. I'll actually tell you the story out of character when the scene ends.
Okay.
I think we're ready to end the scene because it's like 4:30 something in the morning. So, thank you, players, for playing. If we had any watchers, thank you for watching. This has been another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards, where even when people get together to have a friendly chat, I'm going to throw plot in the face until it hurts. Have a good night.